Sarah Huckabee Sanders certainly seemed to be the Republican Party's darling. So what's happened to her since she left the White House? Quite a lot, as it turns out. To say that Donald Trump's time as president was controversial is a serious understatement, but Sarah Huckabee Sanders stuck with him every step of the way, no matter the issue. Replacing Sean Spicer in July 2017, Sarah held the job for about 2 years, which is a pretty good shelf life for a press secretary. It wasn't all smooth sailing, though. As BBC reports, she famously held press briefings and was seen as combative when she engaged with members of the press.
Coming tomorrow, and there was a report that somewhere in
It's a lot of questions. We'll go one at a time.
It's the same.
When Trump announced that Sarah would be leaving her role in 2019, he did so in an uncharacteristically kind way. While he was famously firing members of his administration in Twitter posts, Trump called Sarah a, quote, warrior, crediting her for her toughness and good work ethic before announcing her departure. As the BBC noted, Sarah was not only known for her jabs at journalists, but she was also viewed as a loyal mouthpiece who went as far as saying,
I think God calls all of us to fill different roles, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders had a tumultuous relationship with the White House press corps during her time as press secretary. However, she ultimately left her position in the West Wing to join the conservative broadcast network Fox News. It's not an uncommon switch. Many press secretaries have joined digital and broadcast media outlets after their time in the White House ends, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders was certainly no exception. In the official press release made available at the time, Fox announced that Sarah would be coming to the network as a contributor, providing, as they described, political commentary and analysis across all of Fox News media, including Fox News Channel, FNC, Fox Business Network, FBN, Fox News Digital, Fox Nation, and the radio podcast division. The network also detailed her debut date, September 6, 2019, on the popular show Fox and Friends. Sarah's opinion on the whole matter? To her, she was beyond grateful, saying, Fox News has been the #1 news organization in the country for 17 years running, and I am beyond proud to join their incredible stable of on-air contributors in providing political insights and analysis. Sarah Huckabee Sanders had her sights set on the political office after she left the press secretary office, reportedly encouraged by Trump himself to take the plunge. Sanders announced that she would be running for governor of Arkansas in the November 2022 election. As noted by CNN, Sanders was not only a well-known political figure, but she had deep roots in Arkansas politics. Her father, Mike Huckabee, was governor himself, and Sanders was his political dynamite daughter. It almost seemed fated. As Arkansas Republican strategist Bill Vickery opened up to CNN, she sort of grew up in front of everyone in Arkansas. The vast majority of Arkansas voters, who are Republican, saw what they felt like was a significant mistreatment of her from the National Press Corps and pop culture figures. They saw her withstand that. January 6, 2021 is a day that will live in infamy in United States history. A swarm of radical members of the political right stormed the Capitol after hearing Donald Trump and several key lawmakers and figures speak, breaching the home of Congress and threatening the lives of policymakers, Capitol Police, and more. The event was too large for any candidate to ignore, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders addressed the riot in her campaign announcement video, saying,
We've seen violence in our streets, at a congressional baseball practice, and at our Capitol. This is not who we are.
According to The Independent, Sanders notes that freedom and law are under attack by the radical left. Nowhere in the video did Sanders address Trump and his role on the day, further turning her attention towards socialism and cancel culture. Sanders claimed that it was the left that would further divide the nation.
And with the radical left now in control of Washington, your governor is your last line of defense.
In her announcement video, she further pushed for her leadership as governor, claiming she's the one, quote, with the courage to do what's right, not what's politically correct. In the immediate aftermath of January 6th, Trump was the main target of ire. But his press secretaries, too, got the blunt end of the public opinion stick. Randall Lane, the chief content officer and editor of Forbes, was just one vocal critic of Sanders and the role she played. Inadvertently, on January 6th, perpetuating Trump's falsehoods while in office and standing by him. Writing in a damning column for Forbes, Lane stated, "It's been especially painful to watch President Trump's press secretaries debase themselves. Sarah Huckabee Sanders lied at scale, from smearing those who accused Trump of sexual harassment to conjuring jobs statistics. Her successor, Stephanie Grisham, over a year, never even held a press conference." Despite existing at the center of the January 6th probe and a litany of lawsuits, Donald Trump has tried to maintain political power and threw support behind Sarah Huckabee Sanders when she announced her bid for Arkansas's governor. After she announced her campaign on Twitter, the twice-impeached president endorsed her, saying Sanders was strong on borders, tough on crime, and fully supports the Second Amendment and our great law enforcement officers. Concluding his support, Trump said that his former press secretary had his complete and total endorsement. The 2020 election marked the seventh presidential election in which Arkansas saw an improved Republican voter turnout, proving that the GOP had, and still has, a strong grasp on the state. Given Sanders' history as the former governor's daughter, her role as press secretary and Fox News stint, and Trump's endorsement, it seemed like a slam dunk for her from day one. Amid the campaigns leading up to the midterm elections, issues and stances once seen as fringe became mainstream, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders was one such candidate that embraced aggressive campaign platforms and made her stance on the issues known, regardless of the severity. As noted by The Hill, one such issue given a centralized position in the Sanders campaign was the pandemic. Despite the guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, Sanders announced and stood by her stance that she would not impose any COVID-19 vaccine requirements or mask mandates in the state of Arkansas if she won the election. She made the vow during an appearance on Fox and Friends, saying in response to reinstated COVID-19 restrictions,
If I'm elected governor here in Arkansas, we will not have mask mandates.
Sanders' campaign for governor additionally received attention when her legitimacy to run in the gubernatorial race was questioned. As stated by Samuel Steele McClelland and James R. Baxter of the University of Arkansas Law School, Arkansas's constitution requires that a gubernatorial candidate live in the state for, quote, 7 consecutive years, immediately preceding taking office. The questions didn't land, however, and Sanders maintained her campaign. Here's a lesser-known aspect of Sarah Huckabee Sanders and her gubernatorial run in the state of Arkansas. She had to take a break from the campaign trail after being diagnosed with thyroid cancer. As noted by AP News, Sanders received the medical news and underwent surgery to remove the cancerous area. She discovered her condition after undergoing a biopsy in August 2022 and had the surgery a month later in an Arkansas hospital. In a statement by her campaign staff, Sarah stated, "Today I underwent a successful surgery to remove my thyroid and surrounding lymph nodes, and by the grace of God, I am now cancer-free. I want to thank the Arkansas doctors and nurses for their world-class care, as well as my family and friends for their love, prayers, and support." In classic politician form, the former press secretary noted in her statement that she was eager to get back out on the campaign trail, as it had been 6 days since she underwent the surgery that she had made a public stop on her way to the governor's office. Judd Deere, Sanders' spokesperson, maintained that the Fox News contributor had, quote, several meetings at the campaign office and participated in 2 fundraising events the day before her surgery. Sarah Huckabee Sanders won the Arkansas gubernatorial race in November 2022, making her the state governor. As noted by CNN on election night, Sanders became the first woman ever to be elected to the governor's office in the state, beating Democrat Chris Jones, a nonprofit leader and minister, handily. Sanders took about 63% of the vote as opposed to Jones's 35%, not only assuming the office but securing the Republican Party's hold on the state. CNN noted in a similar vein that the last time Arkansas had a Democratic governor was back in 2010. 12 years later, Arkansas is a Republican stronghold. Of course, Sanders joined her father, Mike Huckabee, and his legacy as an Arkansas politician. She was a recognizable figure in the state and became the first daughter in United States history to serve in the same gubernatorial position as her father. No matter what you think of her politics, that is an impressive accomplishment.
I know that Arkansas can be first, and I'm committed to being the leader that takes us there.
As noted by the NBC/Fox Fayetteville, Arkansas affiliate station, Sarah Huckabee Sanders won't assume the office of Arkansas's governorship until January 10, 2023. But she is already being seen as a 2024 hopeful, especially in the vice presidential realm. Her experience as both a White House figure and now a holder of political office makes her an obvious candidate, and her presence as a prominent woman in politics marks an aspect of identity politics that could be attractive to more moderate voters. Robbie Brock, host of Capitol View, said this of Sanders' political future. "I think she'll be a VP option in 2024. She's got some national brand already from her time in the White House. The fact that she will have accomplished something in the next 2 years as governor, that may help out."